I'll start us off with a little introduction as usual. Thank you guys for being here today. Um, we are Pandion Music Foundation. We've been running these weekly workshops with a different mentor every week and a music supervisor at the end of the month featured who are running the workshops for us, which is really exciting. We're covering a pretty wide array of topics from the music industry. And we're able to offer these resources for free because we're a 501c3 nonprofit, which is great. And we also have this upcoming program that we're about to start, which is a wellness live stream that will be streamed through our Instagram and our Facebook. And then we also have this private Facebook group called the Creator Circle, which is where we kind of have been facilitating more conversation, networking opportunities for up and coming artists with industry professionals. So you can go join that if you haven't already. And that's just where our community lives online. So yeah, we have Elisa Cher here, who goes by Ayla Ray as her artist name. She's a producer, composer, songwriter, and artist currently working with award-winning label and indie artists from across multiple genres, including pop, rap, hip hop, and dance and cinematic. Fused with influences from artists like Dua Lipa, Sia, and Lady Gaga, Ayla Ray's own style of music leads with messaging of empowerment, which is great. This vocal powerhouse not only sings with raw emotion, but is also a part of the emerging group of female producers who are ready to ignite positivity to take on the world, which is really cool. Pandion's led by all women, so it's always really exciting to have other strong women on here. And yeah, so welcome. Thank you for being here today. So
Thank you for
excited to have you
having me.
on.
Such an honor and so see all these familiar faces.
Yeah, yeah. We have a really nice kind of returning turnout every week, which is great. Starting to get to know more people that are coming on here and then others that we already knew through different communities online. So it's been great. Yeah, if you want to kind of do like fill in anything that I
Kick it
missed there in the
off.
background, and yeah.
Oh no. I think so many people know who I am. So yeah, and I apologize. I'm not looking at the chat. So if there's any, I see one thing that says yay, Lisa. So thank you so much for any yays that are in there. But I didn't pull up the chat because I knew I'm about to share my screen and all that. Something's beeping. That's not me, right?
Oh, yeah. No,
Okay.
I don't think so. You can.
Okay. So I am here today to basically do a kind of, and I know some of you probably are gonna be like, well, I know this already, so thank you for your support. But I just, basic logic recording your vocals, and it's gonna be basic, so that this is really for anyone that's wanted to record their vocals. And honestly, then I'm asked all the time about producing your vocals. I love producing vocals, and but it's not something that is necessary. If you want to work, if you're a vocalist and you want to either just do a demo, or you're doing your final vocals and you want to send it out to a producer that works completely across the world, you do not need to know how to produce them. You do need to get a clean recording. And I say a clean recording, no snaps, crackle, pops, and a clean recording that it would really help the producer if you know how to tune. So I will, hopefully, if I have time, go over a little bit of Logic's. This is all going to be stock plugins from Logic, because Logic's not that expensive, but when you go into plugins, like it can really build up. And that's something when you know all the basics, and then you know the kind of plugins you want, that's something you can, dive into later. So I'm going to share my screen today and just go over like the basics of putting the track down, and a couple of the plugins that I'll discuss on if you want to send it to the producer with those on or not. I'm just I'm laughing at myself here because I used to, in the IT world, teach software but people were in the classroom, and I would always throw out candy for like questions, and I got right answers. And I'm looking at them, can't do that on Zoom. So pretend I'm throwing candy if someone says something, get excited about it. But I guess the first thing I wanted to mention is that your environment matters, but your environment doesn't matter as much as it used to. It depends on your microphone, really. A lot of condenser mics, and I'm not going to go into the different names of them, but a lot of condenser mics that are great for vocals can pick up a lot of different stuff in the room. And I found for my voice too, where some pitches can go too nasal and some pitches can be too harsh, that years even before the pandemic, about a year before the pandemic, I bought a dynamic mic, the Shure one that I see so many of you have over there. I'll call out Peter. There you go, that one. With the dynamic mic, it's not going to catch as much stuff in the room. I did set up a mock photo booth, which I'm going to try and turn so you can see. So that, let's see if you can see it. There's gold and it's a curtain, and you go in there, and that's where my mic and everything is. And the top of it is covered with like a sheer, almost like the material that would be on a pop filter. So I did that, and I record everything in there. And the thing about that is I have very high ceilings. So I just am trying to stop a little bit of that reflection. But for the most part, it's a dynamic mic, so it's not catching everything else. If you don't have any room or any area, I know they sell all those things on Amazon. You can get like the little padding thing that you can sing into, but I don't know if you've heard everyone say, a closet, go into a closet, or a carpeted room with a lot of pillows. And I tried to add it. There's windows all here. So I have curtains on everything, heavy curtains, area rugs, even in the little studio area, there's a fluffy area rug. Anything to absorb sound will take off the reflections from your walls and your ceiling. And I do have paneling in that little area. I do have those little wall panel things everywhere, but I have to say, I mean, they're doing their job, but it's not a must. You don't want to go in an empty room where if you were to go, hello, you hear hello back. That's not cool. So definitely put some rugs in and stuff on the wall. I have canvas prints on the wall for a reason, because they're cloth and they'll absorb it. I feel like I'm talking a mile a minute because I want to try to get in everything. But so that's about your environment. And then honestly, if you're just a vocalist and you're not planning on producing and you just really want to get your vocals out to people, you have a decision whether you want to buy an actual interface or not. You do not need an interface. We're going to turn this again. An interface would be like you hear Focusrite or Scarlett Box. Let's see. Can you see this right here? And I actually, good tip, when you have that dynamic mic, Peter, show them your mic again. Any mic like Peter's mic, that's Shure. It's if you have an interface, which you would with that, you need an interface with that. This is called a cloud lifter. You need a cloud lifter of some sort because it does not give its own energy like a condenser mic. A condenser mic gives its own. Of course, there's like, seriously. Hold on. I'm sorry. Okay, so I muted it on here, but it doesn't mute on my computer. So yeah, so anyway, so the condenser mic, I mean, you could plug that thing in and you have all the power in the world and your vocals aren't going to be too low. But the first thing, like you plug in one of those Shure mics and you're like, hello, testing. And your voice is going to show up like that tiny and you're not going to get anything. So cloud lifter is the most popular kind, but there's lots of others. But back to the point of, if you're not going into production and you just want to get your vocals out, you can have a cheap, this is literally my travel mic, USB, $30 with a mic stand. I got that extra. This is my little travel mic. It's not great, but if I'm lazy and I'm doing background vocals, I'll sit here and just do my background vocals on them because I know I'm cleaning them up after. But if you're in a room or closet and you don't want to spend a lot of money, you have your USB, and you can get a little adapter for this. And I'm going to plug that in and show you on the cheap mic so that you know that this is not something that you need a lot of money or equipment for. With that being said, let's see. I have all my notes. I want to make sure. Okay, so I'm going to start sharing my screen, which Lord knows what technical difficulties we may get into once I plug everything in. I did make one of my sons test it out with me yesterday, so they were really happy about that. But but it worked. So with that being said, I'm probably not going to be able to see many of you, but I'm about to share my screen and plug this in and show you. Share screen. Share sound. Hold on, or you're going to be looking at yourselves. Ta-da. And desktop too. Okay, so you're seeing my logic now, correct? Oh, no
Yep.
one's
Yep, we're all
correct.
good.
Okay,
I can
good.
see
Thank
it.
you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so first I wanted to bring this up. So this is as simple as you can get. So a few things that are important is you want to get info from the producer. What info do you want? Well, most important, I don't know if you want to take a screenshot of this, guys, if you need that, but you want to know when you go to record, most important thing is your tempo is the most important, because that's harder to change after. If you forget to get the sample rate, that's okay. Things can be changed, but there's dancing involved. So it would be better to just know this info. You want, and now as when I'm sending tracks to people, I literally put it in the track name. I'll be like, whatever the track title is, and I'll say, please, either in the notes or in the title, please record in 44K. I bounce to 48, or please record in 48K. And then I'll put the tempo, 120 BPM, whatever. So when you go to open up your track, which I'll show you in a minute, you want to make sure that the tempo is set properly. And then, which I said, we're going to change the tempo. So I'm going to show you all that. I'm just going to read this and then we can go back to it after. We're going to choose the mic under the Logic Preferences audio. It's going to be a little tricky. It's going to be a little different the way that I'm about to do it today, because I have to actually share my sound with Zoom. Whole other story. You won't have to worry about that. Then you would import your track, which I'm going to show you. These are all things I'm going to show you. I'm just going to read them now. And when you create your vocal audio track, that's why just screenshot this, guys, because I'm just going to read it and do it anyway. So there you go. And then number 3, sing your heart out, and then make sure you click the square stop button when you're done. So I'm just making it like really basic. Okay, I'm going to move this one over and we're going to start on this. So I already have a file, but if you went to file new, I'm going to delete this and you'll see what this looks like. They're going to ask you, can you see here? It's going to ask you if you want an audio file. You want an audio file, because all you're doing is you're going to pull in your either MP3 or your AIF from whatever the producer gave you. So I'm choosing an audio. These, I've never changed these, so I'm assuming that this is just the default. I will say, you guys might have a newer Logic than me. I always stay 2 behind because I don't want to upgrade anything on my Mac system that's not like ready for all the plugins that I have. So a lot of musicians do stay to Logic and to iOS's behind. So I'm going to choose audio. And then I did I did make a little happy birthday demo track, but I don't know if we're going to actually have the music on. I'm just going to show you how if I pull it in. So you can do file import audio, but I'm just going to drag this in from here. So you'll see this is my track here. All the way to the 1. Make sure you get it all the way to the 1. This yellow thing here is, let me move this because I'm seeing this. Yellow thing is called your cycle. You don't need that on yet. So before I do anything, I'm going to go up and I'm going to check my audio preferences. So Logic, preferences, audio. Okay. I now have my output device as my Scarlett, which is my box that I was showing you. I need my output right now to be Zoom, or you guys won't hear it, but you can choose your output as whatever speakers you're using. But my input, I actually didn't input yet. So we're probably gonna have to do this again, but let's see if that'll change. I don't think it's gonna change yet. See if it'll recognize it. And it did. So my input is my USB audio device right now. So your output would be your headphones, because you will need headphones in order to record and not hear the track coming back into your mic. So don't forget your headphones. So my headphones would be plugged into my Scarlett box. I'm not going to use those here because then I can't hear you, or you won't hear the music, I should say. So I'm going to hit apply. And then we're going to X out of that. Okay, so I'm just going to test this to make sure you can hear this chord plunking of happy birthday. Oh, one thing I told you to do, but I didn't do it because I knew it was already done. So my track says happy birthday, 140 BPM, 44K. This would default normally in Logic to 120 unless you've changed it. So when I say change the tempo, you just click on that and you change it. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to put 140 back. Pretend it was 120 first. And I just want to make sure if you guys can all just tell me if you can thumbs up or whatever, hear this. Okay, good. So that's just happy birthday. And then you're basically going to create an audio track for your vocals. So you're going to do, well, there's a million ways to do this. And everything that I'm showing you right now, there's a million ways to do everything. This is just my take on it. So new audio track. Then I'm going to call it Elisa's vocals. So I double clicked on it. And then this right here, which I tried to describe in the little page that I was showing you, this is your library. So you want to click on this so you can see over here. Now, what I'm about to do is not necessary. I do it because I want to hear, well, I do it for a few different reasons. Okay, so right now it says Elisa's vocals. I'm going to now click voice, and I'm going to choose tracking vocal. And I clicked on that. It made this tracking vocal. Why? Because then I have different features on it, EQ, compression, channel, that I can still bounce to the producer without it. But I want to record some of it with it on. If I now double click this mic here, it's going to take me into, oh, let me move up here. It's going to take me into this place where, let's say I'm doing, this is normal default. I would leave it on. But if I'm doing like a big belty song, right? And I don't have an engineer to run the volume for me. That was one of the hardest things when I was learning to do my vocals. I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? It's gonna, like, I'm blowing out the mic in one place. I'm back in the back of the room. I'm going forward. So sometimes you want to add some compression when you're recording, only if it's like a big rock song or a big belty song. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother. I leave this stuff on, but that's also because I produce my vocals after. You can leave them on to record so you sound nicer in your ear because it adds a little bit of reverb and you don't freak yourself out. And then you can take them off after by either doing this, whatever, or when you go to bounce it, which I'll show you, you can bounce it without all of that on. So for right now, this is kind of a waste that we have here, this happy birthday, because if I play this, I would have to have headphones or it's going to come through my mic. So we're going to do a cappella, but at least you know how it's supposed to look. And oh, I want to show you my favorite part. My favorite part is that I like keeping vocals in different color. So I bet you all can guess which color I'm going to go for, but I right clicked on my mouse and I'm going to go to assign track color. And this is the color. This is the color I picked for that. So now all my vocal tracks will be in hot pink. when I'm actually producing them. And then I have background tracks, those go into purple or light green. And then if I do any kind of like digital double type thing, I'll make them bright yellow. So it's very good to be organized like that. Your producer that you send it to is not going to see that, but just for you, it's just a organizational thing. So then this little yellow button is your input monitoring, and you would click on that to get your live mic that you're
going to record.
oh, it's gonna back. I'm listening. It's gonna back up on me.
Um,
Okay, so
okay, so
we're coming through both now. And then I'm going to show you, I'm going to try to sing off tune, which is actually good because I don't know what's going to come out right now. My voice is so hoarse this week. I'm going to try to sing an off tune version of Happy Birthday so I can show you how to tune. And I can't believe this recording is going to be around forever. So I hope nobody steals and be like, Elisa can't sing. Listen to this song, Happy Birthday, right? Oh my God. Okay, only for you guys. Here we go. So it's so quiet over there. I know we're saving questions for the end, but I feel like I'm just talking to myself.
We're still here.
We're all there.
Thank you.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Okay. All right. Am I speaking too fast for anyone?
No, I think this is perfect. This is
All right.
awesome.
Cool. Okay. We're going to keep going then. Happy birthday. So I'm going to put my little monitor on there and a record button here. And also, actually, this is a good tip. I'm going to put my, we're hearing echoes. This is, so I get my metronome on, but it's very important to go to record and then metronome settings. And you can choose here, do you want a simple click recording, which is just a regular click, it's fine, you don't need to know the details, but if it's let's say there's a drum beat in it and the click is driving you crazy, then you can click here only during count in. Well, I'm singing a cappella here, so I really need that click. So I'm going to keep this on to click while it records. And that's my setting. And then this is like, you know, if you're playing it back and you want that on, that's only for recording. So here I go. The R is already read and we're going to record. Oh, wait a minute. We don't want that music in there. It'll come back through on our mic and I won't be able to teach you how to tune it. So here we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
I don't think it was off tune enough. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see if I was off tune. Can't tell here. Okay. So there's my pink vocals. And I'm going to take my yellow off so that it's no longer coming through here. And let's see, I want to make sure I didn't skip anything for you guys. Okay, so now I recorded one track. You can hit Control D and do another one, right? You can do as many as you want and go to record. But if you want to, I'm going to teach you, instead of like punching, which you would do with an engineer is running, it's much easier for yourself to just do another take like this. But I'm going to show you something. When I put on my cycle and I just want to record one section of it, like maybe the end, I'm going to take this little yellow and I'm going to go to the end. And I don't even know what end I have here. Let's see if I play this back, what it is.
Happy birthday to you.
Perfectly off tune. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to do that again. And I'm going to mute this track here. And I'm going to click my yellow here. When I click my yellow here, my R should come here. When I hit recording, it's going to just record there. So I'm going to get a bunch of different takes. So here we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Now I have 4 tracks. One, yep. And I'm going to take off my yellow. Now my mic's not live, which my mic actually might have had some echo on it. And then this takes a little getting used to on your mouse, but if you click on the number, and I'm going to click option on the number, this comes up, and I am going to choose to unpack to new tracks because I want these each to have their own individual track. I don't want to flatten it. If I flatten it, they're all on top of each other and it's ridiculous. So there we go. I'm going to do this. Ta-da! And now let's say I realize that this one really stinks right here. I'm going to take my cycle off. I can, once I check my vocals, I can just drag it into that spot like there and change my ending. So who's ready to tune them? Let's go in and show you a little tuning. Here we go. We're going to start with the first one. I'm going to mute these others so that we're only in one of them. What are we doing on time? Oh, we're good. Okay. So a lot of people have Melodyne. I do not use Melodyne because of Logic's tuning. I use Logic's tuning and then auto tune. I have the big auto tune pack. You're like, why do you use 2 tuning things? Auto tune is like, even people that use Melodyne sometimes put auto tune on top because it's kind of like icing on the cake. You don't want to use it so that you sound like, you know, you don't want someone to tell that you have auto tune on. So you don't want to put it up too high or anything, but you want it to sound natural. So it's just like a glaze that kind of gives it a shine on top of what you've already tuned. So what I'm about to show you is basically pretty much what Melodyne does. You're playing with each individual note. So I'm going to double click on this. And right now it's popping up my waves. And I'm going to click this right here, this little bow tie, show, hide, flex. Ta-da! I'm going to turn on flex. And then there's a million different things you can do in here. My job today is just to show you the pitch. So I'm going to go up to flex pitch. And we have all of our little notes. Here's all our notes. So if I start from the beginning and I start to play.
Happy birthday to
it's perfect.
you.
It's already off tune. So I can tell that it's off tune just by looking at it because it's not a regular square. And if I double click on it, it'll do this. And it'll put it in the right place. So let's see if that's the right note, because if it's not, and this one looks like it's off, doesn't mean I have to change it. I can if I want. See how it sounds.
Happy birthday.
I'm going to change it, so I'm going to double click that one too. Now, something that I do sometimes, if it's not a bluesy song, if it's a bluesy song, you're going to have pitches in and out of your actual key. It's going to be kind of chromatic. So don't ever do what I'm about to do on a bluesy song. But if it's just a regular song, you can click on one of these. You can Control A for all and double click. And it's going to put what it thinks the closest pitch is. And it could be completely wrong and completely off. But it gives you an idea of what you need to fix. So I'm going to start again here.
Happy birthday.
So happy. I think it was an A.
Happy
Oh,
birthday.
it doesn't sound right either. I don't know what key we ended up in, but.
Happy birthday.
All right, so I'm going to move this one up. See, this sounds better.
Happy birthday.
And then you basically.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
So you just try to.
Happy birthday to
So
you.
this is off, so you're going to move these down. This is a good example. Okay.
Happy birthday to you.
It's all off. So, because we don't have any music going on. So.
Happy birthday to you.
It's because it's a cappella. Let's find a good spot we can actually fix.
Happy birthday to you.
Okay, so that one was already kind of.
Happy birthday to you.
So we're on F there. Let's see what else we got. Something easy to change.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, so see how this slides and you have this line? You can play with it. So if you want that to come up like that,
Happy birthday.
it's wrong. See,
Happy
I don't
birthday.
even know a key.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Now, what if I don't like this little jump up?
Happy birthday to you.
What if I don't like this little scoop?
Happy birthday to you. Oh, I don't think
Oh, it was off tune enough. Okay, so
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
now I hear it. You might sometimes it's nice to keep the little natural things in, but if I don't want that little vibrato at the end coming up too much, this middle line does the vibrato. You can move it. And see how this comes up here? I can move that down a little. Let's say someone's voice has way too much vibrato in the end for like a pop song and it looks like this. You want to change that and just smooth it out a little. There's so many other little tricks here. Like, let's say this note was like, I don't know, let's say it was like that. I can even go up here and I can take my scissors and I can go right in the middle of it and I can make it two different notes, go back to my pointer, and I could change whatever note I wanted to, or put it back to there and then maybe change the vibrato on this one. And you just basically are playing with the shape. Now, another thing is over here. Let's see if I found a spot. All right, I'm going to go to my next track. Let's see what we have here. So
Eliza,
here,
really quick.
yeah.
Lori's asking if it's based on the key in your original setting. Do you know if
So no, unless you change it. So like I'll go in here. I don't know what key I sang in it because I was singing just off. This was what my original one was. And I did not sing that properly. I probably should have played it first. But if I knew what key and I knew there wasn't going to be any like jazzy notes involved, you can change it here. I don't like to because it's making too many decisions for me on certain notes. But let's say I see all these off. It's just going by, it's basically saying, I don't know what key you're in, Elisa, but you're sort of between notes. You're between notes, so something's off, right? But over here on scale quantize, I could pick if I wanted it in C major. I could do that, and then I can click here and I can do all of them, and it's going to put what C major is. That doesn't mean I like their decisions. So you got to use that very cautiously. I almost never use this. I'm just going by, I know what key the song is that someone gives me. And so I'll hear that it's off, right? You'll hear that it's off.
Happy birthday to you.
Okay, well, that was right. But so that anyway, so basically
Birthday to you.
Note that's not here. Let's see what it is.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
And I don't like the slide that comes up here. So you can change that. This little X is.
Happy birthday.
Well, that's a good example for me to show you. So the reason I also don't like using this little quantize thing here is it's going to lock you in. So what if my note is like this, like it's kind of dragged down a little and I want to fix it. So maybe I want to put part of the note up just one. It skips it. It is only going to let me click on the notes that are in the C major scale. But if I did C chromatic, I can change it. And then I can change however I want my little pitch to go. If I was like, let's say, let's see, if this is
to you.
What if this was like to you, like very either nasally or too raspy, you can change your format on it. Like if I wanted this to sound a little deeper,
to you,
I can change it format and go down and it'll be a little lower.
to
Can you
you,
guys hear the difference? So, or if I was, I'll go even lower just to exaggerate it,
to you,
right? And because if I didn't do that, let's go back up to my 0. 0. Okay, this was the original.
to you,
Now, what if I wanted it like a higher pitch, like, I don't know, a younger pitch?
to
You can't
you,
notice as much on that one, but there's a lot of times when I'm producing people's vocals and they're just like, they have one tone in one section and then a deeper tone in another, and that format is very important to make it blend cohesively together. If let's say it's one verse. So what if I now want to take my original vocal line here, but I like this section better. I can just drag this and do that, right? There's something hanging, so I need to drag this over and see what that, if I want to take the whole ending. Do that, which is not, I don't know why, but anyway, let's see. I'm going to go back down, and then let's say I want just the end. I'm going to go here, solo it, see what it is.
to you,
I want that to you in the top one. So I'm going to click here, and I'm just going to give you the long way of doing things. You would go to edit, split. There's keystrokes for everything, and I'm going to do regions at playhead. So I just want that, the 2U, and I'm going to move it into that one. And then maybe I'll call this Elisa's lead, because maybe I'm going to have all different sections combined together. Something to note when you're playing back, that if there's something that cuts off, like here, it looks like it cuts off, you want to drag a little bit further. And also, we didn't really check this one. I'm kind of just playing with this. Let's see what this goes to. Well, let's see what it.
birthday to you,
All right, so let's take the happy birthday from the other side. There we go. Okay, then I feel like I'm all over the place because there's just so many details here, but basically something to also get used to is when go up here where you're basically on your vocal track, you're going to go to the region and you're going to go to more, and it has fade in and fade out. So when you're splicing pieces together to make one lead vocal to send to a producer, you don't want to have that pop between the sections. So if you click there, it's always good to like have a 10 before and a 10 after. It's not a must. If you have a very smooth transition and there's no pop, then don't worry about that. You don't need to. But where you see that you have some space and it's okay, I don't want that one there. You want to do that so that there's no pop. You don't have to be exactly on 10. Sometimes I'm on like 40 doing that.
birthday to you,
Well, we took the day, we need a day. We're using this as an example. We're just ripping up the tracks here. Let's see. I want to give you guys time for questions, but there was one thing. I'm gonna back out of all of this that I just did. So we have one nice track that is still off tune, but let's pretend it's on tune. And I am ready to send this track to my producer. So I am going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Export, and I'm going to export one track as audio file. Well, what if I have 10 tracks? Then I'm going to highlight all my tracks, make sure they're not muted, and I'm going to highlight them and go to File, and I'm going to go to Export, and I'm going to have 5 tracks as audio files. And then this is where you're going to be asked a bunch of questions. First of all, I'm going to just put it in my desktop in the little vocal class thing. So this is still, I swear to God, this screen, it makes you more, I see Rose with the phone. It's funny that happens because I get so nervous when I'm bouncing tracks to someone back for something that I'm going to screw this up, that I actually change my settings and I take a picture just so my OCD after isn't like, oh my God, did I choose that right? I just sent it to him. So I'm saying this is, modern technology here. Sure. Help yourself out, take a picture once you've done it. So a wave is fine. We're not bouncing songs here that we would do in AIF. So waves are good. I don't touch this. Don't touch anything. Remember, because we already started our project in 44K, which I forgot to show you. It's on this sheet. It's on this sheet. If you took a picture of this sheet, I'm going to bring it up here for a second. So I didn't show you, but where on the top, no tempo and sample rate. If you have to change your sample rate here, it's under File, Project Settings, Audio, and that's where you would do it. So I know my sample rate was already good. So that's not an issue. And we have too many things open here. Okay. So, let's say we want to send them dry. We don't want any of that compression or any of that reverb in them. We're going to bypass effect plugin. So when the producer says, I want them dry, bypass effects plugin. You do not need to include volume pen and automation. If you were producing your own vocals, which is a whole other like million-hour classes. If you're producing your own vocals, you don't want to bypass effects plugin because you just made your voice sound amazing. You did all sorts of fun stuff on them and they're shiny and perfect. And you would definitely not click this. But if you don't know how to do all that, send them dry. Your producer will appreciate it. Click on bypass effects plugin. Take this, include volume, pen, and automation off. And actually, overload protection would mean, let's say you hit the red zone and you clipped something, right? It's gonna say, oh, you were close to the red, so I'm gonna clip it here. Personally, my opinion, I turn it off because I'm gonna let the producer fix that. If I hit too high into the red, I'm gonna let them fix that. I don't want Logic making that decision. And then the name, I would leave the name because remember, we already got organized. We were already organized. It was Elisa's vocals. I wouldn't have 5 of Elisa's vocals. It would be Elisa's vocals and it'll put in the 1 after, 2 after, 3 after, whatever. So, and then I'm already here. I'm just going to click my export and it's just going to export that, the full tracks. And then if I go into, we'll have to go over here and show you. Here they are. Here are my vocal tracks. So, well, that was the MP3 of the happy birthday. And these others are my actual vocal tracks. And then you can package them up either in a folder on Dropbox, or you can use WeTransfer and you can send them to your producer. Voila. And then really, I didn't even have time to go into any of the Logic plugins, but feel free to ask questions. So we can open it up for questions.
Awesome.
Great.
That was
Should we
so
go?
great. Yeah,
That
we
was
can
so good.
Very much.
so informative.
I love your tutorial on, that's specialized for you because everyone has their own thing, but I think yours was very easy to understand and very
Yeah.
clear. Thank you.
This was the dumb it down version. This is the dumb it down, but you know what, honestly, I know a lot of you in here already know how to do this. This is really though, some people don't ever use the tracking vocal feature. They'll just record straight off the audio track. And I love using the tracking vocal feature. Sometimes I would even fix my, compression just enough that I actually want that to be the dry version I send to someone. So there's all these things to play with. And the dumb it down version is so simple that I don't think it would scare anyone off from actually learning more and trying it.
Exactly.
Cool.
So should we go with the chat questions first and then maybe put
Yeah, that sounds great. I had one, let me go back to my notes. Oh yeah, okay, so I think, let's do this question first. Janet is asking, they usually put on cycle as I bounce, not to have extra empty space at the end. Is that right? They're asking.
Yeah, that is totally fine. That cycle is very, very, very important if you're bouncing a whole song. You have to have that on. You don't want you will have empty space at the end. But this is literally just, I'm not bouncing, I'm exporting. So if I was bouncing, I want my cycle on. You can do that for exporting too, but they're going to see that producer is going to get a track that is basically as long as, as long as this file, which I never actually, it doesn't end. There it is. So I could have just done this. I still did not need my cycle on because it's just going to go to the end and they know they're going to see, they'll get a big long track, remember, because it's exported and they'll see exactly where your vocals going. So the most important thing is that you've started at 1 or
Right.
you've started at exactly where the track that they have sent you aligns. Right?
And yeah, and I guess because essentially you'd be sending these to a producer. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be like the full song MP3
Correct, which is
that
why it's
you're,
an export, not a bounce.
so it wouldn't
Yep,
matter as much. Yeah,
correct.
cool. Okay,
That was a good question though.
Lori's asking, can you show the button that got you to batch the takes into one track before you unpack them? Not the cycle, but the actual track bundle. Can you show again?
Okay.
Yeah, how
Yes.
you got that to work, I guess.
Yeah, so let me just do a little quick demo again so we can show you how you're saying to unpack the tracks?
She was asking,
I'll
I think
record this.
so.
Okay, so let's just record.
She asked directly.
Yeah. Show the button that got batch.
Okay, so I'll just do that. Is she here?
Yeah.
Is she here? You want to ask?
Yeah, Lori, do you wanna come on for a second? Yeah, cool. Let me see if I can unmute you.
Is it Laurie Goutman, Jordan?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'll ask her to unmute.
Cool.
Oh, thank you. It's like I can explain it. I've
Hi,
used
Lori.
this. Hi, sweetie. How are you doing? Great job. I love your tricks. I've done this, and sometimes I get confused when I get them all on one thing, stacking and stuff. But the way you did it looked really organized. And before you unpacked it, what was after you did the yellow thing? I always forget the name of that. After you did
The cycle, yeah, let me, I'll just do 3 tracks here of something and just show you.
Cool.
It's a little finicky on the mouse, I have to say. I got frustrated at first till my fingers really, you have to be clicking in the exact place at the right time with your option and mine is a trackpad, so I'll walk you through it. It's almost like it's just human nature now. I can't explain it. Okay, here we go. Let me just record this. Oops, hold on. I am not recording all the way back there. And let me mute these. Oops. Oh, it's not moving. Okay, here we go.
Here I am recording.
Oops, hang on. Let's do something really short.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Let's go. Woo!
Okay. All right, so I'm going to spread this out so you can see. So one of my fingers is clicking, and it's right click, it's not left click, on the 3. Oh, it might be in an upgrade. You might not even have to hit the option key. You used to have to hit the option key. Now it's actually pretty easy. Hit the 3 and then unpack to new tracks. Does that answer your question? If you have an older version of Logic than I have, I did upgrade a few months ago to be 2 behind because there was 3 behind. I had to hit option at the same time and it was very frustrating. So now
What do you have? I'm still in 10.6 point something.
Let's see. 10.6.3.
All right, so we're sort of in the same. So no, I saw where you said to unpack it. That's really cool. That was a new thing.
Yep,
But
click the 3, click the top 3. So if it's like this, you're gonna get lost, but open it up. the top three, and then unpack to new tracks.
Okay, so that's not actually where that wasn't the
Oh,
step that I was asking. I saw that. That was cool. I mean, like, isn't there some um choice that you make, like in the preferences, where you choose between it being like stacked or just doing individual tracks? Like, what, that's what I meant.
oh, that's different. That, I mean, that is, you can make, okay, so let's say I want all these vocals. Okay, when I'm bouncing my stems, right? For stems, let's say I have like 50 vocals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna right click on my vocal tracks and I'm gonna create a track stack, create track stack. And I want the summing stack. So I'm gonna create my summing stack. I'm gonna call this lead vocals.
Mm-hmm.
And now when I go to bounce this, the lead vocals are all in one. Okay,
And the
so
mixer can just unpack them himself or herself.
well, not in this. That might be the other summing stack. I've never used that for that purpose. This summing stack I'll only use for bouncing. I don't think if you're signing the producer, you need to even do the stack.
I actually just meant for how you're recording it. I still don't think I've gotten my, I guess I haven't asked correctly, but I mean,
I'm
when
sorry.
you want to do that thing where you just want to do 5 in a row, boom, 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 and you've done the cycle thing. I understand putting the cycle in the section where you want to repeat
Mhm.
it, but what was it, the thing that made it stay on that one track? Like,
Your
isn't there?
cycle, it's just your cycle. As long as your cycle is on, when you get to the end of that cycle and your
But there's
record is
another
on.
way of doing it where it actually creates another track automatically, and then there's another way that just does what you did. So there's like two distinct. I've seen it, but I forget where it is. That's why I'm asking. There's like, you can actually set it up so that when you sing it over and over, it just keeps creating a new track, or it stacks it like yours. So I'm just wondering, where is that choice? Do you know? Maybe
Well,
you've
I create my own. If I'm gonna do a full track, I just do the Control D and I'll just keep doing that. I don't know with the cycle. Maybe that's a setting in your Logic setup. But I don't feel like there would be a need, in my opinion, to use that because you're getting all of your I mean, you're getting all of your takes, and
So
then
that
you can.
happens automatically, I guess is what I'm saying. You
It
didn't have
happens
to.
automatically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Thanks.
which is really helpful because you can do, 30 tracks at once
And
of
that's
that
if
spot.
you have to make sure your cycle is on though for that to automatically
Correct. Your
happen.
cycle has to be on.
Okay.
If your cycle is not on and you're just doing the whole song, no, I still think it would end at the end. Yeah. So it would just be that. I hope that helped.
Thank you. Yeah, that was great. Okay, maybe we can fit in one more question and then you're doing our AMAs, I believe. Is that right? On our Facebook group. So our little Ask Me Anything thread.
Yes. Yes.
Great.
AMA.
Sorry, I
American
know
Music Awards. Yes, I will take one. I will take one. Yes, yes, you can ask me. Just tell me where to look and I will answer questions.
Great. So I'll
Yeah.
do one more question here, and then
Okay.
if anyone else has questions that we didn't get to, they can put them in the Facebook group. So let me see. I think. Oh, Joe asked. I guess it depends on room and vocalist. Do you have a rough level marker you work to, or you work to when recording vocals in Logic?
That's a really, that's a really
That's a really good question as
here.
my mic is
Um,
live here.
So you test it out. You don't want to hit the red, but it depends on the mic. It depends on you knowing your mic. I would never go above 0. I'm usually at like -3 or -4. But also it's very different with the USB mic versus your little interface. Like my interface has inputs as well. So if my interface input is up really high, then I need to know that my volume here needs to be really low. So it's just taking into consideration, and do a few takes and make sure you're not clipping. Make sure it's not too flatlined and make sure you're not clipping, and you want to get somewhere in between, because once you start putting effects on it, it's going to grow. So definitely start as small as you can, because it's going to grow with everything you put on it. But don't start so small, so the producer's like, where's the audio file in there? Because I've gotten those before. And then it's like, oh my God, then you're putting way too much blankets on top just to increase it. So as long as it's not clipping and it's not, the deadline, you're good. But usually around 3 to 4 is probably a good place to start.
Great. Awesome. Well, I think that will be good for now. And then if anyone has questions that didn't get answered, or that come up later, you can pop them into the Ask Me Anything thread on our Facebook Creators Circle group. And if you haven't joined yet, you can request to join the group and we'll let you in.
And I wanted did people get anything out of this? Was it too basic? Or
This was great. This was great.
Good.
I think
Also, your
everyone
energy is like contagious. I just love listening
I
to
know.
you.
And Elisa,
So
I
fun.
think that like we all learn something new every single time. Everyone had, like you said in the beginning, everyone does their own technique, and there's always something you learn from someone else who's been doing this. And you're a master at this point. You're
Aw, thank you.
you're making your own songs. You're 100%er, and you're producing other people. It's amazing, and all the way through, we're just really happy to have you on as a mentor with Pandion Music Foundation.
Oh, I love you guys. I
Yeah,
absolutely
thank
love you guys.
you.
What a special moment to be in your studio in LA a few weeks ago. It was the energy, just the energy in there. I know I see some faces that were there. It was just so beautiful.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
been a few people that have been in the studio that didn't come that time with you, but yes, I would welcome anybody who wants to come visit and hang out with me at the studio. So you
Oh
can
yeah,
direct.
it's beautiful. And
Yeah.
I might in the future, I'm not sure, follow me on Ayla Ray if you're interested in finding out, but I might be doing a women's retreat at some point of all vocal recording. So
Wow.
that's
Oh, do you want to put it in the chat? You're just right now in case.
sure. Yeah, I'll put it in the, well, I guess I don't have, let me stop sharing so I can get the chat back. Yeah, so I'm in talks. Well, we'll see, but
It's online, right?
just at Ayla Ray on Instagram. And if I do end up doing it, I'll post all the details on my Instagram.
Wonderful.
But
we'll
yeah.
help, we'll spread the word for you.
Oh, thank you. The word. Well, this was fun because I didn't know, I didn't want to be advanced and have people like go, I don't know what you're doing. So it was nice
This
to
was perfect.
and if
Yeah.
anyone got even one tip or trick out of it for Elisa's way of doing things. That's the biggest thing I have to say is everyone has 100 ways of doing things. And this is just the way I do it. This is the way I've done it for years. And I have really made a lot of mistakes and figured out how to, benefit from them along the way. So, and
No, at least it's so funny because I know you were part of Inner Circle, but when I first met you, virtually was in Nick's class, Nick Phelps. And I remember we're just like, we're the shiny student, they're showing up and always on time and the whole class. And I was like, she's consistently.
He was amazing for teaching. Yeah, I had already been producing for a while, but oh my God, I learned so many tips and tricks from him. It's no matter what level you're at, there's just always one token you might get out of someone. Nick, I got a ton of tokens out of, but that's why I feel like a lot of you guys have already been doing your vocals. So if you came out with one token, then that's good. And
we did. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Yeah, courage to go on and learn more about it. So thank you so much again for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. And thank you everyone for coming.
Take care.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care.
See you soon.
Lots of love. Bye.